Okay, let me tell you who you have up here, then I'm going to shut up and turn this over to Vicki. This is Richard Coleman. Awesome individual, small business owner, came to this environment apprehensive, just like everybody else, wondering what am I walking into, and has been great to get a chance to meet him. I know his dad, and has been awesome to work with. Looking forward to him. This is Ray Wilkins. Ray has done a lot of things. Ray is the person that, just for you, so you know, Ray is the person that came to our boot camp that has not consumed. You understand? Sees the opportunity, understands the industry, came to the boot camp, put his idea together. I'm saying that because some people think you gotta be a consumer to be in the industry. Certain ways that can help you, certain ways it can hurt you, but either way, he took the leap to come into this industry and participate like a lot of people won't. This is Pam Carter, our only female in the group, our first female graduate. Pam has been an awesome individual, recently retired, grandma, and Pam was already working on her business ideas before she came to the boot camp. She had participated in competitions and pitch competitions, worked on business plans, all that kind of stuff, and she is just been awesome, Stan Taylor and Greg. I've known these two. These are the only two people I knew before this panel. I've known Stan almost as long as I've known Dr. Hodge, about 20 years. I've known Greg about 7 years. Both of them came to the industry, different backgrounds. Greg has been in education and in counseling. Stan had been in logistics for quite a while. So different backgrounds. I want you all to see these people come from different backgrounds and were willing to do the work. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not the easiest person to deal with because I don't like excuses, I don't deal with laziness, and I don't like my time wasted. If I take time away from my daughters and my wife to pour into somebody else's life, the least they can do is take advantage of what we're gonna give. So all these people, now I'm gonna say this last part before you all give them a round of applause and I turn it over to Vicki. And Vicki, I'll get that list for you too with those names. That first boot camp, 50 applications, invited 17 people. 10 showed up. 6 graduated. We extended an olive branch, and some people didn't want to eat. Can't control that. All we can do is keep extending the olive branch. That's why we will continue to do boot camps and continue to offer opportunity, because I have no doubt that some of the people that didn't make it all the way to the end and some of the people that didn't show up, it was that stigma of cannabis that kept them from showing up. They were worried about what mama was gonna say, what pastor was gonna say, and all of that kind of stuff. And as a result, it ended up robbing them of their opportunity. So I'm gonna turn it over to Vicki Williams. Vicki is gonna be the moderator here, awesome individual, also a board member of the CURB board that myself and Sheba are on, the Cannabis Equity Reinvestment Board. So looking forward to this conversation, guys. It's all yours. Take this one. I'm not sure if that one's, yeah.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vicki R. Williams Collinson, and as Paul stated, I am a member of the Cannabis Equity Reinvestment Board, the gubernatorial board, which is kind of in a stagnant space. Would you say that, Sheba? We stagnant? So first of all, thank y'all so much for coming this afternoon. This is an awesome event, and Pastor Barber is so progressive to have this here, because this is really about the business of cannabis, would you say? I want to get an amen. Exactly. And so what we're going to do this afternoon is we're going to have a conversation with the boot camp members. And Ray, is it Ray Williams for real? Wilkins. I'm about to say, because that was my daddy's name, and I was like, wait, what? We can? Where you from? You from Arkansas? No, I'm from Richmond. Oh, okay, no, we ain't can. But it's Ray Wilkins. So we have a set of questions here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to start with the first one, then we're going to go left to right. I'm going to start with you. And the question is, why do you want to start a cannabis business when there are dozens of other federally legal businesses that are easier to bring to market? And sir, you are Richard Coleman. I'm going to start with you.
All right, how y'all doing? My name is Richard Coleman, and one of the reasons that I'm interested in the cannabis business is because of the culture itself. It has a lot to do with my upbringing, what I grew up around, what I come from. I've seen a lot of cannabis interactions, and like we've been talking about through this whole conversation is being able to see the medical side of it and not just the street aspect of what cannabis is, and being able to get others to realize that it's much more than just a drug or a plant. Being part of the boot camp, being able to invest a lot of time working with Paul, he's been great, just getting us educated on what the business is, what to expect, the legislative part, being able to be successful in this business, writing business plans, and to me, that is just the ultimate gift, because somebody is setting you up for success. Somebody is giving you the rubric onto how to put yourself out there and put your business and your ideas on paper. And that is exactly what we've been doing in the boot camp, just personalizing our business, being able to put it on paper, and being able to market it to investors.
Fantastic. Pass it on to Mr. Wilkins. Mr. Wilkins, can you give us your why as to why do you want to start a cannabis business when there are dozens, there are actually billions of other businesses that are federally legal that would be much easier to bring to market, sir?
Well, my reason is that my son was impacted about this drug a lot of times when he had talked to me, him using it and then being incarcerated. I felt like if I could get into something like that that could help him be financially secure once he got out, and to help other people, and also myself. I take medication, and I have been doing research trying to see what cannabis that I might could use that could get me off of medications.
All right, thank you so much. And to our First Lady, Pam, First Lady of the boot camp. Can you give us your why, First Lady?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Starting a cannabis business for me is more than a business. It's a legacy for my family. Something that has been illegal for so long is now legal. I want to be part of that. I want to bring my community to be part of that. I want to educate my community. And it's time for us to start having conversations and start talking about cannabis.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, First Lady. And Brother Stan, can you give us your why, sir?
Sure. How y'all doing today? My why is, number one, I'm already good at it.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
My family has been in the legacy market for a long time. I always knew that one day this would become legal, especially here in Virginia. And the time is now. So I'm taking advantage of this full force. That's my why. Also because I have a passion for it. You know, I mean, for me, it's beyond the money. You know, and beyond the money is also the opportunity to provide jobs for people that look like me and for my community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And, sir, are you Greg Williams? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
A weekend?
Maybe, I think so.
You from Arkansas?
No.
Oh, we ain't can then. My bad. Well, Greg, you are certainly last but not least. Can you share with us your why, sir?
Good evening. How's everyone? Great. It's dealing with the business of cannabis. We have an opportunity here, right, for brown and dark brown people and whatever, to establish a business for us, right? We can get involved on the ground floor. You follow? As far as building a legacy for our family like that. And like Paul said, we have to look at it as a business of cannabis. We're learning the business from seed to sale, right? And sometimes you don't even come in contact with the plant. That's letting you know how powerful and how much information, how much knowledge, and I hate to say it, like money or financial security is involved with this thing, right? And also to right the wrongs of all of the crimes that people have been placed on people from cannabis, right? This is a medicine. You follow what I'm saying? A plant, right? And we know cigarettes and alcohol is illegal, right? And we know how much damage that does, right? But we're gonna right the wrong as far as making the business of cannabis the greatest thing the Virginia.
People want to do what's best for their community. They want to be informed. They want to be empowered to empower others. And they want to use their past and to right past wrongs. That has been a reoccurring theme through that. You know, I'm looking at you, sir, and I swear to God, I want to say you Nipsey Hussle. Real talk, got the Crenshaw hat on and everything. All right, Brother Richard, I'm going to come back to you. And I have a question for you, Richard. But give me a minute, because I'm a little slow. Because he had a list, but I'm going to go on and flip it and do my thing. So, Brother Richard, is it important to be politically active as a business owner in cannabis, and why?
Yes, it is very important. Politicians will create the rules that your business has to abide by. So, but the politicians don't understand the challenges of abiding by those laws, if that makes sense. So it is definitely important to be politically active.
Absolutely. Engagement, y'all. Civic engagement. I say this a lot. Public servants are designed to serve you, which means we have to hold them accountable. What happens is a lot of times they think they have the power and we think we don't, but we have the power to put them there and we have the power to take them out. And Ray, can I come to you next, sir? No, you not. You're not my daddy, but we not even kin. But I'm gonna say Ray, because I like the name. So Ray, I'm coming to you. All right, you ready?
Yes.
What are some business challenges you anticipate as a small upstart entrepreneur pursuing success in Virginia's new cannabis industry?
Some of the challenges that I see and from learning into the boot camp, you would have problems with hiring, with people, locations. Location is one of the biggest things. By me being a commission down at the city of Portsmouth, I have talked to some of the people in zoning, and it's hard to find because some of the places like have to be within 1,000 feet from a church or a school, and that's very challenging to try to find that. Also, another thing that I feel, or I know for my research, would be financially, fundings, getting money. If you don't have any money like I do, and you're trying to get investors and stuff,
Folk money funny.
Yes.
Listen, I know my money funny.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do your thing.
so you're gonna have a challenge with that, being able to. Marketing is another big thing because you just can't just not go out there. You got to have word of mouth, even though I know a lot of people use, what is that, Facebook?
Social
Whatever.
media.
Yeah, you can't do that. So those are things that you will find out if you come through the class and you'll learn. And also, the last but least is if you do have money and you make the money, you ain't got nowhere to put it because they won't let you do it in the bank.
Thank you so much, Ray. So I'm going to go to my friend Stan. Brother Stan, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, why is it important to develop a business plan? When creating a business plan, what are some of the most important parts to include?
Well, if you want to get licenses and you want to get funding, you need a business plan. No investor is going to give you money based on the idea that you have in your head that you just come talking about. They want to see that you have knowledge of the industry. Also, you have to have a business plan and make sure that your ideas in your business plan works hand in hand with regulation. A lot of times we be in la-la land, and then when you put it on paper and you find out you can't do that, it's like, oh, you know. Also, a business plan tells an investor how you plan to turn a profit. And And investors in the investing business to make money. We're in business to make money. No one's in business just because they feel good, or it's just a good idea or something to do just to pass time. So it's all about the money. If you want to make the money, you got to show how the money can be made.
Excellent answer. Thank you so much for that. Greg,
Yes, I am.
why is it important to create pathways for Black and brown people to start cannabis businesses in Virginia?
It's just like Paul was saying earlier, it deals with opportunity. That's why we wear the 33% on the shirt here, right? So as far as being us Black and brown people like that, we need the same opportunity. We are Americans, correct? We have the same opportunities as everyone else, right? So when this thing get rolled out, we need to be in strategic places in the fabric of it, correct? Not to just be consumers or like that. We have to be producers. You follow? So we can build this up for our communities. Look at the devastation we have in the communities, right? With all the violence and the crime and the shooting and different things like that. So they can take these tax dollars, we can reinvest in the community, right? And build that image that we see for our for our children, right? In the future. So that's the main thing about it. We have to have the opportunity, right? To do just like everyone else, have a right to create the business of cannabis.
Absolutely. First Lady, Pam, you like that, huh, dog? I love it. I know that's right, because we are queens around this camp. All right, Miss Pam, what can Virginians do right now to ensure the cannabis industry in Virginia is fair and open to small operators and not just the big MSOs? And also, if you know what the MSOs are, kind of share that with them too, because everybody don't know the acronyms. Oh, you did? Oh, and say it for us. That's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to be wrong. The multi-state operators, because I done made up some stuff on this camp, real talk.
Yes, ma'am. Well, one of the things that we need to do as Virginians, of course, is to stay active, to keep up with our politicians. Ms. Sheba was saying most of what I'm going to say, the same thing. Keep them accountable. Go to your meetings, go to your town halls, go call your local congressmen and speak with them and send letters. I think there's a letter on MJL, normal, to tell you how to start writing a letter to speak to your congress people. Of course, Vmcc Bootcamp, a great way to start. And like I said, MJL and normal. Stay active in all of these type of, what are we gonna call them, communities, cannabis communities. And let's stay active in them and stay up to date with the laws. Go to the governor's website and read what he's talking about.
Absolutely, First Lady. And I want to just kind of piggyback on that. As I stated, public servants serve you. You don't have to have 9 billion degrees to go speak to your legislator. Your state legislator, they serve you, and they need to give you an audience. And if they don't, you worry the heck out of them until they do. Because they have to see you, because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, they work for who? Say it louder. And we need to own that. And that's part of the challenges that we have now. So, Greg, I'm gonna start with you, because I started with my boy over here on the left, so I'm gonna start with you. So, this question is for you, sir. What can prospective entrepreneurs do right now to set the groundwork for building a cannabis business in an industry that does not exist yet?
We talked about some of these things earlier. You can begin to prepare your business plan, get everything set up. Let's go into, we deal with ancillary businesses. That is businesses outside of dealing with touching the flower. Paul had put up a list earlier. You have over hundreds of businesses you could create through the cannabis business. Like you said, someone could be an HVAC person. You could be a graphic designer, anything like that. He's a DJ back there. He can do all the music for everybody. You follow what I'm saying? What she has. So it's a lot of different things you can do right now. But one of the key things is, like Pam said, stay active. Be involved with these meetings here. You got to know, we are all we have right here. You are in on the ground floor. Trust me. And from the Vmcc, the Bootcamp, we have a lot of information that we want to give you all, right? As far as when you're dealing with the business of cannabis. and it's all about licensing, doing the proper licensing, right? But get your business plan together, find out what you want to do, what you're comfortable with, right? You got plenty of time to make some different choices, right? To figure out other things, see what you like, and just start making it happen. See your vision come to fruition. You start with your business plan. Start making them. You can talk to us. You can talk to Paul. But the key is, I think one of the most important things is to become a member of the Vmcc. Trust you. You have access to things. We have been on tours to Columbia Care, right, to the facility, so we get things done impersonally. You follow what I'm saying? It's reality to us, all right? So just do what you can do. Vote, deal with your politicians, come to all the events, and network with each other.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And, I want y'all to think of this like back in the 1900s when they had the gold rush. This is the green rush. We California. Okay? And the people that made the money in the gold rush were the people who created Levi's. Levi's still around, ain't it? People had to have the pants, and then there's some other things I don't want to say on church grounds, but they made money that way too. And if you want to know that, y'all just holler at me to the side, and I'll give you some heads up on that. Real talk. All right, Brother Stan, I'm hitting you up.
All right.
What did the VMCC Bootcamp teach you about finding, approaching, and meeting with investors for seed capital? What are typical questions that you might get asked by an investor?
Well, the thing is, know what you're talking about. People that have money to invest know when you don't know what you're talking about. And if you don't know what you're talking about, you ain't gonna get no money at all. Another thing they're gonna ask you for is your business plan. Is your executive summary and your business plan tight? They don't have to read through your whole business plan to see that you know what you're talking about. One of the things that VMCC has taught us is, of course, how to make a business plan, how to talk to investors, to just basically, it was really a learning experience for me, So you just have to know what you're talking about. If you all know when you talk to somebody about something, whether they know what they're talking about, or whether it's just an idea they've been daydreaming about. Making the business plans, taking the ideas you've been daydreaming about, putting it on paper, making it make sense, showing how you can turn a profit and how you can make some money and get the investor their money back, as well as a couple dollars more. That's all it is to it.
So as you have a dream and you put that dream on paper.
Yeah, you got to put it on paper.
You got to put it on paper.
Yeah.
And that's what it says in the Bible. You put it on.
If you wanted to come to reality, you better put it on paper.
Make it plain. Isn't that what they say?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody know the quote, y'all better holler at me. Because I can't even pronounce the Habakkuk something. Anyway, First Lady, I'm going to drop this question in your lap, and then I'm going to move on to Ray and Richard. Is that correct? All right. First Lady, this is the last question, and you two gentlemen at the end, y'all can jump in if you like, but we're going to start with First Lady first. How can you talk about your previous work history in a way that validates your history without undermining yourself during coffee conversations in a boardroom or at dinner with investors? So the elevator speech, if you will.
Elevator speech. I have had 20 plus years. Oh, thank you. I've had 20 plus years working with the City of Newport News in a supply chain, so that helps me know the order of it, like we were talking about, from cultivating to distributing to your dispensary to marketing. This, I dealt with a purchase card, dealt with the government, and so all of this helps me when it comes to making money and showing how the money is made and where it's going.
All right, thank you so much, First Lady. Ray, this is the question, your elevator speech. How can you talk about your previous work history in a way that validates your history without undermining yourself?
The leadership that I held as being like a director. I was a director at a place. The experience that I can bring to the table and everything else that comes with that that was taught to us in the class by Paul.
All right, thank you so much. And you're next, sir.
Pretty much my elevator speech, it would be me just being honest with the potential investor, and also just having all of my knowledge, being able to explain everything I want to do in a matter of time that I have that person in front of me. How long that could be, it could be 2 minutes, it could be 1 minute, it could be 20 seconds, but I need to convey everything that I have on my paper and in my head to that person. And I want them to understand my plan, and not only understand my plan, but be a part of it.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go back to you two gentlemen.
For me, like I said, I mean, my family has been in the legacy market for a long time. So, I mean, that's my work experience. Not all of it, but I mean, you know, if they are true to what they say about bringing people from the legacy market to the legal market, I mean, my work history, my leadership, I'm a team player, you know, I do what I say, and the proof is in the pudding. So, I mean, that's all I got to say.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing? I have 8 years experience, right, in the corrections, right, on the federal level, right, dealing with reentry centers, right, which y'all know as to be halfway houses, correct? So there you have to deal with the auditors when they come, right, to check your books and stuff like that. Your records have to be in order. To be successful in a halfway house, you have to have your records in order. So I'm familiar with audits, different things like that, of that nature, and know what it takes to pass those audits, so you don't get a deficiency or get fined as far as the cannabis business is concerned. You follow? So I know what they expect and know how the paperwork should be and how to set up your audit. We usually do pre-audits, right? If they come in every quarter, something like that, we might do it every week, every 2 weeks to keep our books in order. And like Paul was saying earlier, you got to make sure you have the correct staff there to make sure your books are in order.
Absolutely. Please.
I also want to add how all of my wonderful coalition members, how they all mentioned their experience, which is very important, because a lot of people, they want to make up different things when you're in front of somebody that you don't know and you're trying to get their attention. Oh, well, I was this and I got experience with this and I can do that, I can do this. When you really just have to be honest and let them know what you're capable of so that they can invest in you honestly and genuinely.
Authenticity sells. Real talk. Authenticity sells. So, you know, back in the day, back in the 80s, people would make up stuff and put it on their resume, and then you get caught up, and then you get fired because you couldn't do what you said you can do. Well, what we have learned is authenticity sells. When you're authentic about your capabilities, like this gentleman said, people are more apt to invest because, let me tell you, people can read authenticity and they can feel authenticity. And a lot of times investors, they hear what you say, they read what you do, but their gut tells them they need to invest in you. And the reason why their gut tells them that is because you're coming across as an authentic person sharing your skill set from the legacy market to leadership to understanding the supply chain to understanding audits. That was a huge point, because as the regulations change and morph, they're going to be checking us, and make no mistake, especially if you're a black business, you're going to get checked like Santa Claus and checked twice. So you got to make sure your books are all the way together. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the conclusion of all my questions. Give this panel a round of applause. I am Vicki R. Williams Collins of Open Door Communications. I am the mediator that you want. I am the conflict coach that you need. See there? 2 minutes. And my number is 757-816-4478, and you can find me at www.opndoor.com, Open Door Communications. Thank you so much. Paul?